This video is about custom columns. I'm going to explain what a custom column is. I'm going to take you through creating one, assigning it, and deleting it. So let's go into the interface and do just that. So to get to custom columns, we're going to come up here and enter our admin widget, and we go to column group section. And you can see all the possible columns we have here. Before we spend too much time here, let me explain to you what a custom column is, or custom column group is. It's basically one of these. So if you create a custom column group, or column group, whatever you want to call it, it will show up here, and you can assign it to users. So they can have only the column groups you have created for them, as opposed to these default ones. You can have as many as you would like. I think up to something like 1,000, but you're not going to have 1,000, so don't worry about it. So anyway, that's what a custom column is, and they will a custom column group is, and they will affect the columns that the grid pulls in. So let's create one, and I'll give you an idea, a better feel for it. So I'm just going to create a silly one here. I'm just going to select the top 10 attributes of the file category. I don't think you would honestly ever use these, but excuse me, I was on the wrong place. When you first enter, I apologize, I've been doing a demo earlier, but when you first enter, you will be here. When you want to edit an existing column group, you will be here. But we're creating one, so we need to come back here. I'm going to add those same 10 columns again. I'm going to call this file junk, and I'm simply going to click create. It's creating the view. It happens very fast, and here it is. Now let's log into a case so we can actually see it at work. Okay, we want to use the file junk column group, and there you go. You can see it's populated those groups, those columns we wanted. Now, if you decide you don't like this column group, okay, we don't like this anymore. Let's not be on it while we delete it. I'm sure that would be fine, but I don't actually know what happens, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and just delete it. And we're going to go back to the creation section. Now we're going to come here, and it's gone. You can no longer use it. So let's create it one more time. We'll call it again, just to give it a different name. We're going to create it. And just to double check, there it is. Now, what is important to notice is that when I come over here and use one of my roles, and I want to come here to columns, and I'm going to give them the again column group. And that's the only column group I'm going to give them. So when this user logs in, all he will have up here is this again column group. And so I've completely controlled the things he can see in the grid, which really actually goes quite a long way in terms of making sure users have just the experience they need, because they don't want to be overwhelmed by the number of columns that actually exist in this tool. Just to give you a sense of it, let's go back to column groups and just for fun of it, select all. You can see there are 956 columns. I don't even know what they all do. I don't think anyone knows what they all do. I think some don't do anything anymore. But the reality is there are too many. So you come in here, you get the ones you want. You can just type in search here and it will find them for you. So if you want one with about delete, you just type it in and then you look through your set and you select that one. Is a deleted file, whatever. And then you create the column groups you want, and then you're done with this. You never have to look at it again, and you're in a happy state. The last thing is column groups can only have 10 actual columns. You can have less than 10 if you want. You can have 1, 2, whatever, but you can have no more than 10. That's a limitation currently. If you guys express to me that you want more of them, it's easy enough to add more, but 10 was a good marriage of enough columns to do what we thought most people would want to do, but also keeping it small enough so that the speed of the grid is fast, which ultimately users really want. So anyway, that's column groups. Hopefully that was clear.